All right, here we go. Day 3 for the Mazda. Oh, great. We're at the Porsche test track. All right. Eric thinks he can get... Yeah, whatever. All right. Let's see what we've got. Uh, 4 laps. You can see I got the 19 upgrades on now. So 4 laps on the long circuit. I'm going to guess it's Magnus. Let me do all this here. Make sure everything's good. Alright. So I'm going to guess that it's Magnus. And just straight off the track. Magnus is probably in whatever Porsche we have to try to catch here. And note that it didn't say you can't go off track. I'm going to try to do it sort of traditionally here without going off the track. Certainly if you just cut it across the corners here, you would be able to win it with a lot less upgrades than what I have. You might even be able to do it with no upgrades. You know, at least for this stage. Certainly it's not going to take very long for the no upgrade crowd to sort of fall by the wayside. I mean, there's always somebody who says they can do it for, 10 or 12 upgrades. I guess it's just a matter of having enough patience to do it, or for having that be your thing. Like you just want to be able, the old Carrera GT there. Anyway, you just want to be able to win it with so few upgrades or something like that. I really don't know what the logic is. Obviously at one point in time I was there where I didn't really have the goal to upgrade the cars, and so I was looking for sort of a oh, just get out of the way, a deal for getting the cars. But I don't think I ever tried to get through these sections with just no upgrades and all that. I went ahead and put a certain number of upgrades on the car and tried to go from there. So, oh, I guess that was actually the last place car. I was about to say that's a very weird car to have up here in 4th place. Those are a couple fun cars to drive, the 918s. And of course there's Magnus, and if we're lucky the race will be over when I pass him. Excellent. Okay. It was actually a good paying race, because it pays you like you ran all 4 laps. That actually took a lot of service out of the car. It's only 3 goals, so that's not bad. Of course, Magnus would be driving. I'll go suffer through his nonsense to find out where he got the car. Coming in at least 6th with an average speed of 85 miles per hour or 136 kilometers. I think I have it in kph, without going off track for more than 2 seconds. So obviously here, the the off track thing is because it's, you know, is because they know you can cut the corners here, and I actually don't know how much time you would be off track trying to cut it across one of those corners. You certainly couldn't do it on every lap. Where do I have to finish? 6th? Something like that? I'm sure, like with most of these, the position is not going to be the difficulty. It's going to be average speed. This is actually a very low average speed track. That's why not a lot of people use the FXXK in the other race for farming, because it's not that fast. It's a really slow track. It's looking like I'm going to be fine, assuming I don't go off track. I almost went off track right there. Sixth place, I think that's where I need to be. Yeah, at least 6th and 136 without going off track. I have actually been off track for 0.3 of a second. That doesn't surprise me a bit. This is one of those tracks that's more difficult than some when they have it in the time trial tournaments, because it is so easy to go off track, especially up through here with the the corkscrew section that, you know, somebody thinks looks like Laguna Seca. Alright, 5th place. And on we go. That took it almost into the red. We have a fleet of old Porsches, but Magnus has exclusive access. Prove to the track manager that we're worth their time by overtaking 9 opponents and coming in 4th without colliding. 3 laps on the dynamic circuit. So wait, where do I need to finish? Okay, 4th place. It's a rolling start, so this is almost 4 laps. It doesn't say you can't go off track, which is probably a good thing with all these really slow cars. So at worst, you can just pass them, you know, off the track somewhere. If it was no off track and on this little tight course, that would be almost impossible. So overtake 9 times. There's one. And I'll pass him again. What position do I need to finish? 4th. Okay, so that's actually enough. If I pass into 4th, I will I'll pass the required number of cars, assuming I don't run in the back of somebody. Kind of surprised it didn't foul me right there. This should actually be a fun little car to drive once we get into the series. I actually think all of them will. Hopefully there's a really good race in there. You know, another 10 or 12 lap race that pays, you know, really good fame, something like that. I'm not really holding my breath for it, but you never know. I guess I don't know what, I've got 4 or 5 more stages for this, so I guess we'll figure out eventually how it pays, but for right now we've got what we've got. So paid a little bit of fame creeping up. Tomorrow is actually a bonus day. I think it's 160% on the race dollars. So I'll probably take an hour and a half or something and sit down and run that endurance race. I obviously have a good amount of cash there, but I like to keep it above 10 million. That's kind of the number I like to keep. But anyway, so I'll do that. Let's see what we get. Obviously all the way in the red. Service for tomorrow. So let's see. So I guess basically I'm done with the upgrades. 170, that's big. 160, that's another big one. 125. Suspension should be a little less. 95. And what are brakes? 75. So, yeah. I mean, at this point, I'm pretty much maxed out. I have looked online to see what the alleged requirements are. Stage 3 complete. 20,000 race dollars. And 10 gold. So not terrible. The 737 came in 3rd in 1985. Only a slight improvement, but Mazda refused to give up. So it's interesting. You know, they've only got the one car, but it seems like they're sort of trying to tell the story of Mazda in the race. You know, sort of how they did it before they actually broke through and won it. Anyway, all right. So there we go. Next stage opens in, I don't know, whatever, 6 or 8 hours. I won't be able to get it. I won't be able to get the video for that one done until pretty late tomorrow, though. So anyway, leave me a message. Let me know how you're coming with it. Ask me any questions you've got for the series or whatever, and I'll try to get back to you. Have a good one.